This is Lynne Koles, and I am interviewing Ann Wilson. You're approaching your 80th birthday.
I sure am.
It's a milestone.
I guess so.
Yeah. What do you think was the most significant thing that has happened in history in your lifetime?
Well, I suppose in my lifetime we had World War II, which was more significant in that it was an unprovoked attack by one country on another, which started the whole thing.
When you say one country, are you talking about when we were attacked or when European countries were attacked?
Well, the very beginning was China, Japan, of that particular conflict. Like, I remember when I was little, we always listened to the on radio, and my mother, who was still alive then, was so upset. She had no use for the Japanese. All you can say for them, she would say, is they are clean and they are polite. Japan was always after China. Now, how that actually began, I don't know. I was a fairly small child.
Now, you were born November 3rd, 1929. Wasn't that right after the stock market crash?
Mm-hmm.
How did that and the Great Depression,
29th.
Yeah, how did that and the Depression impact your family?
Our family?
Yeah.
Not particularly.
Okay.
Other than in so much as it affected the whole population.
Mm-hmm.
But as an individual family or as a small group of families, no, not really.
Because they were professionals?
Mm-hmm.
More than,
yeah. And my mother didn't work outside the home. She volunteered a great deal.
Okay.
And in nursing, because she was an RN.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't work outside the home.
Now, speaking of your mother being an RN, was your grandfather always a medical doctor as long as you knew?
Yeah.
And how did he get his training? Where was he trained in medicine?
Well, I'm sure it was somewhere in the East because before they went to China, I believe that he had a practice in the Albany area, which is why they came back to where they came when he retired.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did they acquire the properties on the hillside? I think the Handy property, the farm across the valley.
Mostly, they lived in them and then kept them. Now, the properties were up for back taxes.
Mm-hmm.
At the time he bought each one.
I see.
Because they were purchased separate. And they had sabbaticals periodically.
Oh, yes.
To come back from the mission work.
Right.
And that's when he bought the properties. Because he knew he wanted to come back to that area.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, their lives, of course, were in China.
Yeah. What part of China?
Well, my mother was born in Hainan, which is it's an island off the southern coast of China. At least it was at that time.
Okay. About World War II, how did that impact you?
Directly?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not much more than anyone else of my age at my generation. The closest relative was Uncle Lex.
Who was in the war?
He volunteered, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He figured he should volunteer to go because he knew the language.
Mm.
He somewhat knew the China-Burma area.
Mm-hmm.
Volunteering, he could possibly put that kind of strings on it. He could choose to go.
I see.
Because that's where he'd be useful.
Right.
Yeah. All the males in our generation were drafted.
Okay. Yeah, and Uncle Lex was your dad's generation. Yeah. This is Lynne Koles, concluding an interview with Ann Wilson in regard to historical things that have occurred in her life.